What is up, figure skating land attendees? Join me at Xtreme on Ice at the Ion International Training Center, featuring Ilia Malinin, Keegan Messing, and hosted by Alissa Czisny and Kurt Browning. I drove through rainy West Virginia and then made it to the Ion Training Center.
Sometime later.
I am awkwardly hanging out in the parking lot still because they were like, go here to pay parking for credit, but then nobody was there. And I'm not quite sure when the doors open. I'm not sure about anything. And I don't know how much of this is like my existence or other things. Okay, it was 50% my existence. Yeah, it's like 50% me. Immediately upon arrival, I was greeted with Ilia Malinin's merchandise, and of course my frontal lobe short-circuited and I ended up with lots of merch. Part of me was worried that I would look like a creeper at my age wearing a quad god beanie, but it was cold and it was the spirit of the event. I don't know about y'all, but every time I go to any kind of event, for whatever reason, I feel like I have to find my seat immediately. It's almost like when you go to a plane and you got to find your terminal immediately. I decided I must go to my seat and just stare at the ice, which I'm glad I did because the person that took my ticket said, oh, you can sit wherever. We didn't number the seats. And for some random reason, some of the seats were numbered and some of them were not. And there was no kind of pattern. But luckily I was able to find my seat because that would have stressed me out. It is so cold here. I was not thinking of this when I prepared my life. Just as I noticed that the gold on ice backdrop was still up, I saw Alissa Czisny and Kurt Browning greeting fans, and of course I had to take that opportunity to get a selfie with them. This was actually kind of my lofty goal, and I thought I'm not going to get to meet these people. But then bam, even before the show started, I got to get my selfie in. And the show opened with this unexpected number from Niko, Klaas, and Olya, Gella. And then this beautiful number from Capitol Theater on Ice, followed up by this amazing acrobatic performance. And then Jordan Cohen from On Ice Perspectives got a surprise interview from Kurt Browning and Alissa Czisny. And just as a note, he was filming the whole entire show, and he will likely post all of the videos, the full-length videos at some point. And this was my first time seeing Annalise Stapert and Maxine Karakov, this ice dance team, and so I was excited to get introduced to skaters that I haven't seen before. And then some more amazing acrobatic skaters. And then an Angel and Hell program done by Capitol Theater on Ice. And then this bizarre yet delightful program from Jason Graetz. And here are some scenes from an unplanned intermission for like an equipment difficulty.
Okay. She's like not sure if these pants will let her do this trick, but here we go. They were gonna soak up your ass after this because they're like, it's like somebody.
And finally, Sarah France and Aaron Singletar were able to do their program. And then this fun hula hoop program featuring Violetta Afanasia. And then Keegan Messing, which be on the lookout for the full video. So now watch this unique performance from Acro Ice. And then followed up, of course, Ilia Malinin. And I will link the full video down below.
I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, crime, fame, mud, disease, I play. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy.
A lot of spinning.
Do you ever feel like you're up there forever?
Yeah, I just take off and it feels like I'm never gonna land.
It's like a rocket ship.
You're not just interested in flight, you also like fashion. And so tell us a little bit about this brand that you created. Thank you, Alissa, for buying me a nice shirt.
Yeah, so this is an idea that we wanted to consider, and we saw that not a lot of people do a lot of merchandise or their own brand in the skating world. So I have the idea to give something back to the fans, and they can buy all these.
And say what?
And this says what?
This one in particular, it says Quad God.
And this one?
And this one right here, it says in old traditional Japanese kanji, it says 1620.
Which is?
It means 4.5 revolutions. In degrees, right? Super cool.
All right, one more question for you. Will you sign my shirt?
This is pretty cool. Also, by the way, Keegan not only accepted your backflip challenge, but with attitude. Nice. And by the way, while you're writing your name,
Also, Ilia learned to backflip in April. And is already fantastic. He has about 7 different backflips. And now you're challenging for the longest backflip in the world. It's a brand new jump.
and he has all his hair. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, Ilia Malinin.
And of course, Clement, the fire starter. And now enjoy some clips from the finale and the Battle of the Backflips from Keegan Messing and Olya.
almost out the door, and then I found out by happenstance that those of us with VIP seats could attend a meet and greet. There were a few of us who either didn't find it deep in our email or just didn't get the email, but regardless, it was a delightful surprise, and here are some clips from that event. I hope you guys enjoyed joining me at the Xtreme on Ice, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be seeing you next week when I post about the Grand Prix final.